Hey everybody, Ethan here, and you're on my side of the room. Today let's talk about tone. So today I was checking out a video from Johnny Lee Long, and it's nice to see him back in action after a hiatus for some kind of reason. He didn't say what the hiatus was, at least not publicly, so all I can say is I hope things are okay over there at the Hobo Depot. He seems back to his usual form, so that's good. So he's said this before on his channel, but today's the day I really took the advice to heart. So when I learn something, pass it on to you. That's how I roll here. And what he's saying is, especially when you're posting stuff to like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and stuff, that a lot of people just aren't paying attention to the tone of their bass in this instance. They're just basically like, let's just get it up there. And I do that all the time. Now, I've said before I use the Joyo. I've also said before this is not sponsored. It still isn't. Why would it be after the stuff I'm about to say about the Joyo? But I've said this before, though, and this is not controversial. This is not a tone box. This is just basically kind of like a passive interface of just, it's not going to add any color to anything. It's just, here's what you plugged in. Well, I love to love on my Zematis. Why was it way over there when I'm saying I love to love on my Zematis? The thing about it is, between this and the Graco, the sound of these things are flippin' amazing. Well, you're not going to know that because of this. So, what's the answer? Well, the answer is the heart key that you can't see off camera right now. So my amp is my tone. So I plug it in my amp, and there's a world of difference between me doing like bass covers and noodling and whatever through this versus when I'm actually at the CSL doing my weekly gig. So enough so that even like the guys who watch my channel, they're not expressing this outright, but I get the message that's unspoken kind of, or like that they can't articulate. And that is, why do you sound so different here than how you sound on YouTube? Well, the answer is this. This is not really making this shine. It's just a go-between and basically quick and dirty. See that sign up there? That's not up there by accident. It's up there because it pretty well sums up what you're getting here. I'm very quick and dirty. I'm very pragmatic. I'm very just get her done. And that can come at the expense of stuff. Well, how are you going to get all excited about Zematis other than the looks if you're not hearing it? Now, the dirty secret about YouTube is that the compression is such that you're not really going to hear the real tone that you would have got if you were standing in the room with me and hearing this Zematis. So I guess you'll just have to be in the same room with me and hear this Zematis. But point taken, though, you check out Johnny Lee Long, he can get some sounds out of his basses, so we can't blame YouTube or use that as a cop-out and say, oh, well, that compression doesn't give you a true picture. Yeah, well, you get enough picture. And he did enough screwing around with the tone, dials, but not only his bass, but then his amp. And made his points clear that there's sounds you could be getting out of your bass and you're not, because you're so concerned about, let's just get this up on YouTube because I want to show off my stuff, or I want to play a cover, or whatever the deal is, or here's my show, or whatever. But you're not getting the sound that's really going to sell it about what your bass is capable of and what you're capable of. So to test that, I plugged into the heart key and ran it through this. And like I said, this is not going to add any tone to what you plug into it, so the heart key is doing all the heavy lifting. Then I did it without. So for the purposes of Video Magic, I'm going to do this in opposite direction here. I'm going to put it with just the Joyo first, and then I'm going to switch to what happened with the amp. Now this is just some noodling. This is not a cover. This is not meant to show off my bass skills with a Z. This is just to show you that there's a difference between no tone whatsoever and the amp doing some tone shaping. up to and including using the shape knob on my amp that I don't normally use. But I thought for the purposes of this video, why not mess around with the tone knob, or the shape knob. So here we go. No tone, strictly Joyo, hit it. All right, so very noodly. Loving that A minor pentatonic, just can't get enough, or minor pentatonic, I should say, just in general. Now let's check out the Hartke. Going through this, how's that going to sound? Hit it. So marked difference, isn't there? So here's the thing. When you hear good advice like this from Johnny Lee Long, you put it to immediate use. You don't keep watching YouTube. You press pause or stop or back or whatever, put that away and get to work. So that's what I did. Whip this out, test it out. As I was thinking, you know, this is awfully honky on its own. It's very mid-rangey. Because I just think that's kind of how these basses are on their own, like left to their own literal devices. But my sound is through the amp. So if you go to a show and hear me, that's going to be through that amp, and that's the sound you're going to get, and it's going to really make this shine more and what it's capable of. And people notice, and people do come up to me and say, wow, what amazing tone. And you're not getting that through this thing in my YouTube videos, because I'm not concerned about the tone, and maybe I ought to be. So maybe future bass videos like this can be more tone attention paid, or I'm just going to focus on this is the cover just because here's the cover. I don't know. But over to you, and leave me a comment, let me know. Yeah. This looks dirty, doesn't it? Yeah. Over in Commentville, let me know. First of all, did you hear the difference? Did you appreciate the difference? Do you want more of that? Do you want more Hartke and less straight up this business? Or do you not care? Let me know. Letting me know lets us know, because we all learn from each other. And go check out Johnny Lee Long while you're at it. And I'll put a link in the description to help you out. That being said, keep learning, keep playing, and I'll catch you in the next video.